Hello, everyone, and on this fine evening, we are bringing you a grand final match here at the CCA. Here, the first grand final match here is going to be a Div 3 matchup with Egg Spaghetti, who is coming from the University of UC Berkeley, with Long Beach Black coming from the University of California State, Long Beach as well. So it's two California teams clashing it out here in Division 3 finals. I'm not alone here, however.
Yes, hello everyone. It is me, Nikki. Excited to be here. Casting some grand finals. Not only just any grand finals match, but as you said, the very first grand finals of the season. Right? It's going to be a really exciting match, I think, especially the battle of these two California schools. Right? Some teams that might have a little bit of history, coming from the same state, of course. I don't even It's gonna be exciting. I don't know. I'm at a loss for words because the anticipation's been building all season. This is really when things are gonna come to the head, and we see the two titans of this division come together and see which one comes out on top.
Yeah, it's very interesting, Nikki, because there's quite a bit of a storyline developing in Division 3, right? Because you saw the group stages and it got pretty ugly, right? Multiple teams going 3-2, and Long Beach Black managed being one of those two teams. They dropped two games during the the groups phases here, and they were seen as the underdog here. People were thinking, oh, UNM will knock them out. It's gonna be UNM versus Egg Spaghetti here, but no, look at them, Nikki. They are up here ready to rock and roll against Egg Spaghetti in the grand finals of all things, who has been pretty dominant all season. I don't think they've dropped a single match all season here, Nikki.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a really strong season for both of these teams, I feel, right? And as we've been saying, this is really going to be their chance to show. They've come all this way, they fought long and hard to be here, and we're going to just have to wait and see which one of these two teams brings it home in the finals. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. We are going to be getting into the games here shortly, Nikki. We're going to be starting on Splat Zone's Hagglefish. So, this is always a classic Splat Zones map here, It's definitely a good litmus test here, as I like to call it, for both these teams, and seeing how they're going to perform. And it's going to set the tone for the entire set here, Nikki.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I always say this is like the battlefield of Splatoon. There's no gimmicks, no trick to it. It's just a basic straight line of a map with a left flank and a right flank. So, a great test to see if any nerves come out from these two teams. Obviously, the stakes are incredibly high here. Both teams are coming in with fairly conventional picks. A pencil on the side of Egg Spaghetti, a ballpoint on the side of Long Beach. Both teams trying to get into mid, getting any early advantage they can find. And it looks like it's going to be an early advantage for Long Beach, taking out the Octobrush, the dualies as well. This could be a big chance for Long Beach to really move in and take a lot of ground.
Yeah, that was very impressive from Long Beach there. It just felt like they clicked one or two specials and then immediately cycled the initial two there. We saw the missiles using really effectively, and now it's just going to be Duke sitting in court, smartly jumping out right now. And a lot of Long Beach members, they did not decide to hang around in court. They decided to play this very safe here. They're playing the long game, Nikki.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, both teams kind of falling back into a more neutral position here, is just waiting for specials to come online. Egg Spaghetti does have a Zipcaster online, ready to go. Seems like they're going to elect to save it, maybe conserve it, wait for another special use in combination with it. The Zipcaster is going to come in, trying to find any picks they can find, but unfortunately not able to find much, it seems. I lied. They're actually going to get a trade if the flings are there, and if them being cooler, that trade's actually in favor of Egg Spaghetti. So they're going to have a lot of momentum here, as it looks like they're trying to grapple for the zone.
Yeah, definitely. With the Crab Take coming out here in X7, slowly making their way here with the Wave Breaker and the Range Blaster here. But no, Long Beach is somehow keeping this outpainted, given how much paint is being distributed with that Snipe Rider, as well as those dualies going out here. But no, there's just so much control being given here. Not necessarily on the other side of the map, but on control of the Splat Zone, which is the most important part here. It's only been 3 minutes, Nikki, and hardly any team's been able to move up into each other's spawn here. But no, Long Beach going to get a triple already and gonna go for the quad by rolling him over!
Yeah, attrition warfare really seems to be the name of the game here. Neither team has been able to get a really strong grasp on the zone yet. Although it's looking like Long Beach is finally trying to get a bit of a push going, but that Crab Tank from the side of Egg Spaghetti is going to force all of them back. They're getting a lot of points here. They're past the 50-point mark, so Long Beach is going to have a fairly commanding lead here. But if Cooler online, yeah, Egg Spaghetti is going to come in, rally up some specials, flip the zone. Long Beach is going to have a pretty substantial penalty to work through now, but Egg Spaghetti's not letting this push up. They're not letting up anytime soon. That Zipcaster get out a lot of space. And if the Pencil in a more forward position, this could be Egg Spaghetti's chance to really lock them out, especially if the Pencil finding 2 picks there.
Yeah, definitely. This is not looking good for Long Beach at all here, especially with this pencil. Flopsy on this pencil getting not one, not two, but three members of Long Beach here, consistently shutting them down here and just giving the support paint here, consistently putting down that ball point, preventing them from setting up here. But now it's going to be the missiles, one last ditch effort to grab to that zone right here as the lead gets pulled to Egg Spaghetti.
Yeah, I mean, Xspaghetti kind of back into a corner here. The Dualies were forced to pop their crab in a bit of an inopportune time, but it is going to keep Long Beach stalled for long enough that they're not able to really get a firm hold on the zone here. So it looks like both teams are going to opt to fall back into neutral. The zone's still in favor of Xspaghetti, but I mean, it's definitely not a firm grasp. Yeah, Long Beach is going to flip the zone here. Like, I feel like we're in a bit of trench warfare here. It's like as soon as one team takes the zone, the other team retaliates, and we're just right back to where we started. Both teams neck and neck pretty much, 44 to 42, and each have fairly large penalties to work through. Like, this score might be staying for quite some time.
Yeah, exactly. And like, since both these teams do have cooler, even if a member does go down, they're going to keep the special charge here, as we do see the members of Long Beach try to make a push with the Inkjet though, but not going to be able to find any members here. And right now, this is just going to be a consistent fight for that zone right here, taking those penalty points back and forth, and that Raven coming in with that Zipcaster, they're already getting a pick on Filmopolis right there, as they're managing to try and make this push even more so, Nikki.
Yeah, Xspaghetti doing a fantastic job so far, holding on to the zone. Like, Long Beach is definitely not making it easy for them. Like, they're constantly putting out pressure if their bombs in high paint comp. But if Long Beach going 2 down, Xspaghetti's defense seems to be too much for Long Beach to break through. They're right back into disadvantage, doing their best to try to get whatever pick speed they can get. Filmopolis here is coming in for a big flank on the end zap, but they're going to get shut down very quickly by the Octobrush. Long Beach is 3 down. We'll go into the last minute of the game. Xspaghetti's pretty much through the penalty. Long Beach is probably going to have one more good shot to flip the zone here and try to get themselves back into this game. But if a big Zipcaster from Raven coming in and really taking a lot of attention away from them, it's going to be difficult. They have maybe one more shot here. They're going to have to move with these missiles and the Inkjet. They have a lot of momentum here, but we just have to wait and see what happens.
Yep, jump outs are happening here. The zone is being contested right here. 10 seconds are left here. Not a lot of time, but just enough time. If Long Beach is able to get that paint down, they do manage to neutralize it. However, they just manage to get scrapped up by that range blaster for coming up from X7, giving Egg Spaghetti the first game there, Nikki.
Yeah, Xspaghetti, their defense was just sublime all game long. I mean, it was definitely a struggle at the start, right? Like, both teams trading the zone back and forth over and over again. You commented on it yourself. Like, we were 2 minutes into that game, and neither team had really pushed past 80 points by that point in the game. But, like, it seems like as time went on, like, Xspaghetti, they did such a good job of wearing down Long Beach to the point where Long Beach, they seemed to be, like, a bit nervous. They were starting to scramble a bit towards the end of that game. And then right when, like, the pieces started to come back into place, they had that Inkjet. They had those other specials online. It seemed to be too little too late for them to really come in. You could see here they're scrambling to take back the zone in a desperate last second effort, but there just wasn't enough time. They really came together a bit too late, I feel like.
Yeah, exactly. You saw the Zipcaster there, and that kind of like put the nail in the coffin, right? Because when someone Zipcasts, right, and they just kind of stay alive and just draw all that attention forward, everyone has to look behind to look at the Zipcaster, otherwise Zipcaster's going to get a pick here. And it's just being very difficult, right? And the members of Egg Spaghetti being able to capitalize off of Raven Zipcaster there at the very end, and just making the specials being popped so far back from zone that they were just not able to get to the zone in time and being able to paint over it, even though I think the painting power was relatively equal on both sides.
Yeah, that's really the power of Zipcaster. It's not in its ability to get picks. Like, obviously, if you get some picks with the Zipcaster, that's great. I mean, it's a nice bonus. But, like, the true power of Zipcaster lies in its ability to disrupt a team, I feel. If it takes the enemy team's attention away from the objective, even if you don't score any picks, even if you just end up, like, killing yourself in the process, you're wasting time. And in zones, that's the goal. It's to delay, not destroy.
Yes. Exactly, right. And that's perfectly what Egg Spaghetti was able to demonstrate there, you know. Pop Zipcaster, get that attention away. That attention is not on zone anymore, right? It's in the spawn of Long Beach Black, right? And so if you're focusing on that here, just it's going to be very difficult. But Nikki, before we get into this, I want to talk about these teams' squeeze to victory, because let's just say these teams are certainly cooking.
You know, it's grand finals. The stakes are high. Both teams, you know, they really got to come together, really lock in. And I think that really shows in these keys to victory. On the side of Egg Spaghetti, we have whoever wakes up on the right side of the bed, pop off, please. And for Long Beach, win, and oh yeah, win.
Unfortunately, Nikki, I got up on the left side of the bed, so I am unable to pop off here. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, Egg Spaghetti fans in the chat. I am incapable of doing this according to their keys to victories real quick. But I like how straightforward Long Beach Blacks is. It's just win, win, win. Unfortunately, I don't think they quite did that first game there. Perhaps they're going to try and see if they can turn it around on Tower Control Ship Shape, which is coming up here. And Nikki, you know what's really interesting with this graphic in particular? We got to see the percentages, right, for both those teams' win rates on each of the modes, right? And Long Beach was setting at 75% for Tower Control, while Big Spaghetti was sitting at 80%. So, and I have a sneaking suspicion it has to do with that Range Blaster pick on Egg Spaghetti, given this is Range Blaster's best mode here. But hey, we're going to see how these comps shift and change. What stands out to you, Nikki?
I mean, on the side of X Spaghetti, a lot of big changes. Like the only common factor in this comp is the pencil. Otherwise, we got a Range Blaster, a vanilla Tri-Slosher, which is not a commonly seen weapon anymore, and in Gluga Dualies, a big wild card, especially given it's not even the one of Zuka. So, like, X Spaghetti, they're pulling out some crazy unorthodox things here. On the side of Long Beach, we got a Neo Machine coming in this time. Makes sense, it's a fairly standard pick in Tower Control. But regardless, like, both teams are opening the mid. X Spaghetti's going to get an early advantage here. I say as they go 2 down, they're probably going to have to fall back here. Yeah, it's looking like what Octocali's trying to do here. Falling back into the pit, that's not where you want to be. They're going to have to struggle to get out of there. Popping a bit of a Panic Booyah might be like a desperation play. They're going to get picked off there, right? Long Beach is going to have a lot of momentum here. I say as the end zap goes down, this Tri-Slosher's been putting in work. An explosive opening from both teams, to be sure. I really, like, it seems like this could go in either team's favor. Like, both teams are trading picks left, right, and center.
Yeah, definitely. Left, right, center, all the directions picks are happening here. But right now, it seems like Egg Spaghetti is a little bit on the back foot right now. You know, they gave up their top right area, and they're playing mostly in their court, so that Range Blaster doesn't have the paint to be able to push up right now. But Octocali on this Gluga going to prove time and time again they are a dualies master by doing that one dodge roll into double tap combo with the Glugas. You love to see it, Nikki.
Yeah, and the Range Blaster is also in a very dangerous spot. Just being able to poke up onto the plat from that lower street area, it's what blasters love to do. And Range Blaster being able to put out so much damage over such a large area, that's pretty dangerous. So Egg Spaghetti, they're really starting to run away with this push. Every time I say anything good about them, though, they go 3 down. So maybe I should just stop talking and a little bit of commenting first. Long Beach finally coming in, clearing out this push. Regardless, Egg Spaghetti is still getting a pretty substantial push. They're past the first checkpoint, threatening the second one just about. A score of 42, it's not unbeatable. Like, Long Beach isn't quitting over that, but it's definitely hard to beat on this stage. And if them going 2 down, Egg Spaghetti might just look to keep this push going, finding another one as well. That's the backline dead. There is no defensive core stopping Egg Spaghetti from running away from another push here.
Yeah, definitely. Multiple members of Egg Spaghetti are dropping right here. However, it's just a matter of just trying to get that space cleared, right? Because the biggest problem that Long Beach is running into right now is just half the times they get a pick, they get 2 down, similar to this situation right here. However, they're not clearing the space right now. They're consistently trying to force fights that are unfavorable for them, but this time, Squirtle is going to come out on top right here with the Neo Machine. Another Zuka being popped here. Double Zuka. One of these things is going to hit Nikki, and they do manage to find one here. But no, both a Booyah Bomb and the Gluga Dualies are going to run on top there, and it's going to completely shut down Long Beach's foot straight in point to the simple.
Yeah, right there, a great demonstration of why you don't want to be stuck in the pit like that. It is so difficult to get out, and then once the Range Blaster sees you stuck in that pit, they have one thing on their mind, and that's murdering you and your friends. So Long Beach is going to get cleared out very quickly. Egg Spaghetti getting another big push coming in here. They're in great positions. And Inkjet online as well to threaten those defensive positions. Finding one, Long Beach is 2 down. Egg Spaghetti getting points rapidly here. Make that 3 down. It's all up to the shot. They're popping Zuka. That's going to do a lot to slow them down. But the Booyah Bomb from Octocali is going to take him out. There is no one in that defensive top left position. Like, Egg Spaghetti might just be able to run right through the second checkpoint.
Yeah, definitely. Wait.
Down, but they're going to get past it, and they're keeping this momentum up.
Oh my goodness. Breaking through that second checkpoint is pretty huge here. You know, that's generally the checkpoint that gives people the most trouble right here. But no, Long Beach is coming back with a defense of their own, consistently getting these picks as multiple members are jumping in right now. And that tower just manages to be cleared here. And if someone has taught me anything about ship-shaped tower control, that it is a snowball map, and Long Beach just needs to get that snowball rolling and able to swap this lead here, Nikki.
Yeah, for sure. Like, by no means is this game like unwinnable for Long Beach. It is a very snowball heavy map. All you need is one really good push to take the lead here. But if only a minute left, Like, Long Beach is going to need to make something happen sooner rather than later. And of them being consistently forced to pop their specials so early, it's difficult for them to find that momentum to get the snowball rolling. I say as they get two of that inkjet, that might just be the start they need. Find another one as well. Squirtle's in a fantastic position right here. Like, that's where you want to be holding in order to get past the first checkpoint. And then from there, they might be able to make something happen.
Yeah, definitely, especially with that not the end try, the vanilla try going down right there, especially giving a lot of momentum. 3 members of Egg Spaghetti are down here, but it's this pesky range blaster that is left alive and being unchecked there, finally being cleaned up, allowing this tower to breathe a little bit easier when those range blaster shots are down here. Duke's gonna go up there and trade, I believe, another member with Zuka as well. However, there are no more specials left here, Nikki, to maintain this push.
Yeah, the pick on the Glugas there was actually absolutely vital. That means no GG Booyah for Egg Spaghetti. Egg Spaghetti's 3 down.
Wait!
The game and come in with a clean last second comeback.
Oh my goodness!
Side of Long Beach there. Oh my goodness!
Oh my goodness! Wow, you took the words right out of my mouth there, Nikki. I could not believe that was able to have that much momentum because I saw the Zuka already get used and the Inkjet already get used. I'm like, okay, both entry specials are nearly done here, right? And that Inkjet's about to run out, right? It's not going to be able to find anyone else here, right? Right? And then I get proven wrong here as Hydro hopping on this Inkjet right here, getting that last pick with the last second of Inkjet, just barely enabled them to be able to do it because it was the Tinsel that dropped there and then also got the kill on the range blaster as well with multiple members of Egg Spaghetti down here. Yeah, 3 down here total. That just led Long Beach to be able to run away with this game here and just they got that snowball and they were able to roll it all the way down that hill all the way to the lead there.
Yeah, I mean, the odds seemed against them, right? Like, it was in the last minute of the game. They had such a huge, like, pit to climb out of in order to take back the lead against a team that had a GG Booyah Bomb special online and ready to use, right? Like, most teams would have given up there, but, I mean, Long Beach, like, kudos to them. Like, they didn't lose, like, they didn't get nervous. Like, they kept their... I'm blanking on the words, but like they kept their cool, right? Like they kept those nerves in check, played really well, got the ball rolling, and as you said, this is such a snowball heavy map that once you get the ball rolling, it's not uncommon to keep it rolling all the way up into the final checkpoint, or in this case, just far enough to get the lead within the last 10 seconds of the game. So great stuff from them.
Yep, great stuff from both teams here. And, you know, we're already having a 1-1 set right here, so it's effectively a best of 7 now, Nikki. We have, essentially...
Yeah, I was going to comment on it. Like you said, like, Long Beach is, you know, their keys to victory. Win, win, and win. I mean, that first game, you know, they're already, like, not exactly playing the keys to victory, right? They lost that first game. But we're in it for the long haul, right? This is a best of 9 set. There are plenty of more games left to come. So Long Beach, all they need to do is keep their cool, keep their nerves in check, and just get that mental reset and play the set as if the score's still 0-0. And that's exactly what we saw them do. And now the set might as well be 0-0 again.
Exactly, right? I think Long Beach here does have a slight flaw in their keys to victories here. See, this only mentions 3 wins, not the 5 necessary to win the entire set here, Nikki. So I'm not sure how that's going to stack up in the long run, but perhaps it loops back around. You know, it just resets here. Like, what's the next keys to victory? Probably just another win here, Nikki.
I would love it if they actually listed 9 keys to victory and like perfectly predicted which games they would win and lose.
I was the one who looked at that form, by the way, and I filled it out right there, and we only put it at 3 for good reason right there, but I did check the additional comments right there, and it was just a winky emoji, I believe, so I don't think they had anything else right there for this, but hey, all they have on the mind is win, win, and win some more here. So I assume Egg Spaghetti has a similar mentality as well. They want to pop off here, you know, they want to get this win here, and Rainmaker Museum del Foncino is definitely going to be the map mode for both these teams here, but as already one of them on each side go down, they are trading bodies left and right here, Nikki.
It seems like every game, with each game, the openings get messier and messier. More bodies are hitting the floor with the beginning of each of these games. And like with each of these sets, though, like both teams seem to be hesitant to be the first one to actually push the objective. I mean, we're 30 seconds of the game. No one's come close to even touching Rainmaker yet. Probably the right thing to do. Museums are very, especially Museum Rainmaker, it's very like backline heavy. If there's an anchor setting up on the flat, it is excruciatingly difficult to push the Rainmaker up to that first checkpoint. But regardless, it seems like Egg Spaghetti is going to be the first one to push the Rainmaker. Finding 3! I don't know what killed those 2 individuals there. I'm guessing it was a bomb that went off. But Egg Spaghetti is going to have a lot of momentum here. They got past the first checkpoint. and they're still being very aggressive here, holding forward, getting a lot of space cleared out. Flopsy's trying to push the Rainmaker. They're going to find a few points past the first checkpoint, but Long Beach is going to do a good job to stop that push immediately before they get any more points out of it. But Spaghetti not letting up. They're keeping this pressure up, popping the Rainmaker yet again. Still up on their plat. Like, Long Beach is going to need to really come together and, like, maybe get a special online to try to clear out the plat. Okay, they got missiles coming in. Here's their chance to make something happen.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, that missile's already finding one here from DP Squirtle. Here we have the flanking Fling Zone. You love to see it here, you know, consistently grabbing attention away from that pencil as well and making the other members of Spaghetti look at them. But X7 sees that from a mile away. Pop, the Rainmaker. The Rainmaker, no, the Rage Blaster here just pops you easy. But no, this is just very messy here, Nikki. Just Long Beach is unable to just clean up their plat as necessary here, and it just seems like consistently multiple times Spaghetti members are able to take care of the members there and consistently get not one, not doubles, but triples as well here.
I would like to note there, up in the top right corner, OctoCali got an amazing 2 picks with their Tetras, and I thought for sure they were about to roll into the water there. They were dangerously close to just flipping off the map.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
Regardless, I mean, Spaghetti trying to get another push going here. They got 2 down. The last 2 are kind of bottled up in that defensive top left position. They still need to pop the Rainmaker. That's definitely going to slow them down, but regardless, Spaghetti, again, just not letting up, constantly holding forward. The Tri-Slosher trying to get up into a really mean, aggressive position up in the top left there. Doing a good job. Long Beach is 2 down. Xpaghetti's running it. They got a few more points, but Long Beach, again, doing a good job to stop them before anything gets too out of control. And if Core Line as well, this is going to be their chance to come back in, clear the bad guys off their plat, and try to get this thing back in the neutral, basically.
Yeah, definitely, Nikki. And just right now, Long Beach is struggling to get control back of the spinner right here. And it just consistently members of Xpaghetti getting multiple kills, right? Multi-kills there. We mentioned OctoCali there on the Tetra dualies, right? Consistently getting a lot of kills there. They finally go down right there. And just a lot of this momentum has just never been in favor of Long Beach until right now. You know, they got the cooler online. Mid is somewhat painted up right now. Another member of Xpaghetti falls right now. They do have the Sniper to contest with right here, but they are slowly honing in on these players right here. As right now, the OctoCali is caught in a little bit of a predicament as they all wipe out right here, giving Long Beach the checkpoint and getting ready to set up for a push of their own.
Yeah, this is a big opportunity for Long Beach. What they need here are specials. They have the missiles coming in, but the Rainmaker's going to get, unfortunately, picked off very cleanly there. Long Beach is 3 down. That is absolutely tragic. It seemed like such a beautiful opportunity from the push and maybe get themselves back into this game. But Xpaghetti, they came together and just effortlessly cleared them out like it was nothing. And if all 4 members back online, multiple specials online ready, it seems like. I mean, they already have the slider coolers about to come out. This push is most likely going to just fizzle out for Long Beach. So they put in the hard work. They got the wipe. They were in such good shape. But all it took was one clean pick on the Rainmaker that completely shut their push down.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of steam and momentum just got pushed out there with multiple members going down on the spinner right there. I just felt like Long Beach hit the gas pedal a little bit too early there and was just very eager to get moving and try and swap the lead here. But right now, Xpaghetti is doing a fantastic job just keeping them at bay here. This ink check from Calicat right here, using the slosher to their advantage real quick and just moving them back, consistently putting a lot of pressure here, setting up their teammates. They are on the spinner right now. Only 30 seconds are left for Long Beach and doing the cross on the reef slider, but Long Beach has seen that Squid School video. Oh my goodness.
I mean, it was definitely a bold play from the part on the side of OctoCali there. Yeah. But unfortunately, it might have been a little bit too bold. I mean, Xpaghetti went 3 down there, and if the members of Long Beach playing very aggressively on their plat, this could be the start of that last-second push Long Beach is going to need. I mean, as the Range Blaster drops down, critically takes out the Rainmaker in the last second. Long Beach is not going to get another chance to pop the Rainmaker. They're not going to get overtime. That is a decisive win for Xpaghetti there.
Yeah, you saw the makings of a good push happening there, Nikki, and just a lot of things were ready and settling to click there. We saw DP Squirtle already taking that spinner right there, getting a pick right there, looking for another one, right? But hey, we're going to rewatch this last couple of seconds here, Nikki, and really break it down play by play here. So as we see here, the Rainmakers reset here. DP Squirtle makes the Hail Mary jump of all flings the players love to see, right? Consistently getting on this plat here, just barely living here, distracting the members of XPA just long enough here. However, it's X7 here, consistently realizing like, hey, the Rainmaker just needs to die here. So all I need to do is dive that Rainmaker, get one indirect, and then hit another indirect, and it's done. That push is completely out right there. And we saw Duke trying to chase them down as well, and it just wasn't enough time for that head push to be able to flourish there.
Yeah, I mean, I really couldn't discover it better. Like, the push was there, right? They had everything going their way. The shot was there, ready to keep the Rainmaker safe, but they caught the Range Blaster just a fraction of a second too late there.
Mm-hmm.
And then, in Rainmaker, when it comes down to, like, those last critical seconds, you don't get a second chance, right? Like, you have to wait for the shield to reform it, and then, like, put in, like the 3 to 5 seconds to pop Rainmaker, and then pick it up, right? You don't got time to do that. So all it takes, like, it feels terrible because you miss one little thing, right? You miss one shot. The Range Blaster gets the pick on the Rainmaker, and then it's just like, shoot, we're screwed, right? We don't got time. Like, the game's already over. So, if you're Long Beach, you hate to see that. If you're Spaghetti, you're absolutely thrilled, right? Like, the Range Blaster saw an opportunity, they went for it, and it worked. So, like, kudos to them, right? I felt like Long Beach, they just struggled to find any momentum that entire game, right? Like, when they did have the momentum, right? They had the makings of some really good pushes, right? Like, that last one, there was potential. The one before that, when they got Spaghetti wiped, there was potential. But both times, it was just some cheeky pick on the Rainmaker from out of nowhere that completely shut them down. And then aside from those two chances they had, it felt like that entire game was just the Spaghetti show. They were the ones constantly pushing over and over and over again. And even if a lot of those pushes didn't go anywhere, they had so many that it was inevitable that at least a few of them would get some points on the board.
Yeah, definitely. And Nikki, something I want to talk about a little bit. This kind of caught my interest here. The next map mode is going to be Crab Leg Capital Clam Blitz here. And if you look at the win rates for both these teams here on both these modes, right, on Clam Blitz, Long Beach Black has a staggering 70% compared to Egg Spaghetti's 38% this entire season. So I'm curious to see, has Egg Spaghetti improved their Clam Blitz game to be able to compete with a lot of these teams that are a lot more consistent at Clam Blitz, or is it going to be a situation where Long Beach is going to be able to strong arm them because this is a map mode they're just a lot more comfortable playing, and they know how to cycle the clams, how to get things ready, how to get those pushes compared to, say, a Rainmaker?
I mean, a 70% win rate in Clam Blitz is definitely something to be proud of as a team, because it's the mode that requires the most team communication and coordination, right?
Right.
So, like, if you're Long Beach, hopefully you're aware of that statistic, the fact that your win rate is significantly higher than Spaghetti's. You see that statistic and you let that motivate you in order to, like, get this win and tie up the set again. We see Spaghetti fall back to a few more traditional picks. They pull out that Octobrush again, as well as the V-Shot. But then we got Flopsy switching off of Pencil and going over to Tri-Stringer, meaning they're going to be coolerless for the first time in this set.
Yeah, definitely. Playing brave and bold without a cooler here. We love to see CCA teams eventually break that convention here. It's like, hey, we don't need a cooler. We just need the kills and the space. That's all we ever needed. We don't need a cooler to make this work here. And Xpaghetti is going to try and show that with this game right here. But no, Squirtle already on this Flingza here, cleaning up that fight with Octocali, consistently shutting down a Tetra Dualies, which is already such a very mobile weapon compared to Flingza being such a slow and sluggish thing of a weapon here. But consistently, it just seems like Long Beach is playing this really safe right here, playing back in their spawn, waiting to get more resources here before they try to go in for one good push.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like there's an early advantage for Long Beach in terms of the clam economy, having a staggering 17 clams on the board compared to Xpaghetti's 10. If you're Long Beach, you want to try to take those clams, like, use that knowledge of the fact that, oh man, we control the economy, especially if them getting 2 down. This is Long Beach's chance to push up and take a lot of space, potentially even score. Duke down there in shots isolated in the pit, but he's unfortunately, fortunately for him, he's going to manage to, stay alive there, completely forcing Long Beach out. I mean, they had a great opportunity to push in, but they're not letting up. Xpaghetti's 2 down yet again, but Long Beach is being really patient about moving up onto their plat and potentially trying to, threaten the basket.
Yeah, definitely. And one other thing I want to point out, by going coolerless here, you got to be a lot more careful about going down, because you're not only a delayed respawn timer, you're not going to be able to preserve the special that you normally get when you use a cooler here, especially when Duke is ready in there to punish with the 52 here. The members of Long Beach there are just going to start funneling in clams. I believe we have Squirtle coming up there with another power clam, getting 2 power clams in here, a couple more getting tossed into the basket here. Nearly 50 points on the board here from Long Beach here. And you've got to admit, Nikki, this is quite an amazing push here coming out from Long Beach.
Yeah, I mean, it took them a while to get up there, right? I said they were playing a little bit patiently, but to their credit, their patience paid off. They got an absolutely massive push, taking the score all the way down to 33, and it's looking like they're trying to keep the push to alive. Yeah, the Hydra up there on the ballpoint, sneaking into the top right grates, scoring just a few more clams to keep the basket open. Amazing push all the way down to 21 points. It's looking like the push is finally beginning to fizzle out. Yeah, they're out of clams. The basket's about to close here. But Long Beach is still in a fantastic position. This ballpoint especially, being alone up in top right, like this is an incredibly dangerous position from the B end. And Xspaghetti, recognizing the danger that player faced, they managed to pincer them, force them out. They're going to trade, but honestly, just like a trade just to get that ballpoint out of that really dangerous top left position, or top right, depending on whose POV you're watching, right? Like I'd say that's worth it. So both teams are going to fall back into neutral here, although Long Beach is still holding on to that firm control of the clam economy here. So Xspaghetti is going to have to do a lot in order to try to swing the momentum of this game back into their favor.
Yeah, definitely. We do have multiple members trying to cluster up on the upper platform right there and trying to get through. Raven popping the Zipcaster there, but no, multiple members of Egg Spaghetti are going to be dropping down here, and due to a lack of a cooler as well, right? Normally they'll just be, okay, whatever, we jump back in like 5 seconds, right? But like right now, this is just giving Long Beach that opportunity to like move up and keep up a little bit better with Egg Spaghetti right now, because they have a little bit slower respawn times right here. Flopsy being on this is Striker is providing valuable chip damage. However, it just doesn't seem like Xspaghetti is able to use that chip damage to be able to snowball that into a push right now, because you see they've gotten close to getting to their base right now, but they just don't have the clams or the economy to be able to push through meaningfully.
Yeah, and for Long Beach, like that's exactly what they want. I mean, by now, like their push of 79 points is incredibly like strong. Like their lead's very demanding. If they wanted to, like they could afford to play this game extremely defensively and just wait for Xspaghetti to keep throwing themselves at the basket. Like their push is, like their lead is like it's comfortable enough to the point where they don't really need to like take any more risks. Instead, like the ball is very much an Xspaghetti's court here. So like with them playing so patiently, that works in their favor. And for Xspaghetti, within the last minute of the game, they realize we need to make something happen like now, or else it's just not going to happen. And they're going to find 2, so this could be their chance to push in. But again, like what they need are clams. Octocali on the Tetris seems to have a lot, but they're going to go down, meaning Xspaghetti yet again is just, they have no control over the economy. They can't get any momentum to get a push going, especially because by now, like, within the last 30 seconds of the game, they realize we're going to have one shot at this. Once we break the basket, like, that push needs to be the push that swings the lead back in our favor, because otherwise there's just not enough time for a second push. So they need to make sure they have a lot of clams online so they make this one push count.
Yep, definitely. This one push, it's starting here, Nikki. These clams are slowly being funneled in here. Roughly 40 clams enter the basket here. They need roughly another 40 more here. But unfortunately, 3 members of Egg Spaghetti are going to drop down here, leaving Octocali as the sole survivor here. But no, it's not going to be enough here. That was such a tall order for Egg Spaghetti to be able to beat such a significant lead that Long Beach was able to properly cycle those clams, that it just kind of put so much pressure on them. And when a lot of pressure is put on a team there, Nikki, you are bound to mess up either mentally or mechanically, some way or some shape or form.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's really intimidating in Clan Blitz to be like, oh man, we have to get 80 points in one push, right? Like that doesn't happen terribly often, which only makes the fact that Long Beach pulled it off that much more impressive. So kudos to them, right?
Yeah.
But speaking of Long Beach, that 70% win rate they have in Clan Blitz, they show it's not undeserved. Like, they know their stuff. That first push they had was absolutely fantastic. And Xspaghetti's push, I want to stress, wasn't necessarily bad. Like, 40 points in a single push is about, like, pretty standard. It's what you're looking for in a typical game of Clan Blitz, right? But, with Long Beach's lead being so commanding, like, they realized we can, like, play a bit patiently in terms of, like, how we defend the basket, right? Like, even if they score 40 points in, we have another 40 points worth of buffer to fall back on, right? So like they were able to play that defense really cautiously, take few risks, and then like still have the room to mess up and keep their lead. So like Long Beach, again, showing like their 70% win rate and Clan Blitz, it's not undeserved. Like they know what they're doing. And with that, this set's tied up again. So you know what? It was a best of 9 at the start. Then it became an effective best of 7. Well, now we're playing an effective best of 5.
Oh my goodness, Nikki. The more I see these teams just put up 1 point on the tick counter here, and it's just the same score right here, I'm like, okay, best of 5, we're going to go best of 3. Next, it's going to be best of 1 eventually. We might be going to game 9 here, Nikki.
I mean, that might be finals. Now's the time to have an exciting set go to game 9, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Going to game 9 here. Yep. Stream statistic, by the way, right? We've only had one game go to best of 9 or go to game 9 specifically. So if this happens again, this will be officially the second game on stream that goes to best of 9 here, Nikki. And I'm putting a little bit of money down, just expecting the unexpected or the expected, whatever way you want to look at it, that we might go to game 9 here, and we're going to have an exciting set here, especially for the first grand finals at the CCA.
Of course, like, let's not get too ahead of ourselves, right? We still have another 4 games to go before we even hit that fabled Game 9 set, right? Yep. And on that note, Game 5 is... Oh, geez, what is it? I have not memorized this map list yet.
It's Splat Zone's Haggle, right? Splat Zone's Haggle right there on the map.
We got Splat Zone's Mako, actually. Yep. Which, shoot, I mean, like, this is a certified classic. You know, Final Destination. That is the name that given this, because it is so ubiquitously popular, right? Like there's nothing fancy about this map mode. Like some of the Hagglefish, there's no gimmicks, no tricks. The victor of this map mode really comes down to which team plays better. And it's even this deep into the set, we still have some comp changes. Long Beach pulling out the red zap this time, and instead of opting for Duke to pull out the Tri-Nouveau to still have cooler support. And then over on the side of Xpaghetti, we see them pulling out Range Blaster in zones, which is something you don't see terribly often. However, it is worth noting that Makamart might be the best map in the entire game for Range Blaster. So, I mean, it's definitely an unorthodox pick, but one that isn't, like, there's not, like, what am I trying to say? It has merit, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, definitely. There is quite a bit of a comp switch up here, and having like such different weapons here can definitely like change up the pace on how Xpaghetti is going to be approached this, because having weapons that are so strong on this map, like this N-Try that Duke is playing right here, is going to definitely put a damper on what they want to be able to do on zone here, especially when Duke is sharking on this right-hand side, just flinging these giant in paint AoE hitboxes here, and just consistently shutting down a lot of members here. So that's what Xpaghetti realized. You know, we need to take down Duke. We need to be able to take them out, remove them, so before we can get the zone right here. But now it's going to be both Film and Hydro here. Looking at the zone real quick here. The zone is going to be flipped here. However, it's just immediately going to be flipped back as multiple members of Xpaghetti go down here. This is a very dominant showing from Long Beach here, Nikki.
Yeah, Long Beach is playing absolutely fantastic. Like, they lost the zone there for just a split second. But even then, like, Xpaghetti didn't really take out a lot of members of Long Beach. Like, that... Within the time between when they first had zone and between now, like, very few players have actually died. Like, it's been an absolute bloodbath for Long Beach so far, just consistently finding picks. They're finally going to go down in a pretty big wave there, Xpaghetti finding 3 of them, and with, like, that's going to be Xpaghetti's chance to push up, take their stack, that key defensive position they want to hold in order to keep Long Beach away from the stack. So, like, for the first time in this game, like, the ball is in Long Beach's court, especially with Cooler coming online for them as well. But, I mean, like, they have a pretty substantial lead. Xpaghetti is getting close to threatening it, but if all members alive, finding 1, numbers even, actually, it's a 3v3. The Tri-Slosher unfortunately missing the pick on the pencil. That is absolutely vital. The pencil goes down. This pick's trading left, right, and center. They really need to flip the zone here. They're going to get it. Xpaghetti's going to have a pretty big penalty to work through now. That was an absolute bloodbath of a play there. Just so many people went down. It was extremely difficult to really try to keep up with what was going on there. But the point is, Xpaghetti, they're going to lose the zone for a little bit there. They have a penalty to work through. We have an actual game here. And both teams still trading picks left and right. No one can stay alive for more than a second all of a sudden.
Yeah, it seems like it's the camera curse that's happening. Whatever our producer decides to show, they will die right there, consistently right here. We have multiple members here engaging in this bloodbath consistently and for the long haul right here. This is just the nature of the map mode here, Nikki. Just a second one person goes down, there's already someone else there ready to clean up the fight right here, especially with Film trying to do with his flank right here. Look, multiple members of Xpaghetti is looking at them here, managing to get the jump here as well. Looking at the zone here, Chumps are going to be online, Cooler's online right here. Multiple members of Long Beach here are looking to get this zone here. Duke just runs on top of you, slaying out that Snipe Rider right now. This is just crazy. Absolutely crazy, Nikki.
Yeah, Long Beach making a vital play. They're managing to flip the zone in spite of, throughout all of that chaos. They remember to not forget about the objective. But they're going to flip the zone right as Xpaghetti was beginning to threaten their lead. And Xpaghetti's going to have another big penalty online. As Long Beach is getting past the penalty, they're going to extend their lead further. This is really not looking good for Xpaghetti, but they're not giving up. Like, they're still playing very aggressively. And with the comp they have, they kind of need to. I mean, like, Long Beach's comp vastly outpaints Xpaghetti, so they have no choice but to play hyper aggro, basically. And they're doing a pretty good job of it. I mean, we've been saying this game's been an absolute bloodbath for both sides. Long Beach is going to be 2 down. Xpaghetti's going to need to move here if they want to really, get something to happen. Long Beach is going to be 3 down. The Range Blaster's really pushing the last one out. Duke's stuck in a corner, going to get taken out. And now Xpaghetti, that was a very delayed wipe, but a wipe nonetheless. They're going to have a lot of space in their favor, and if they play their cards right, they might be able to get the lockout here. They're past their penalty. They're just have to, they're going to have to play this really smoothly, keep their nerves in check, but it's looking like they're going to get the lead here. Long Beach is going to have one more shot at this. They have Cooler online. They're 2 down.
Oh my goodness. Wait! Wipe out indeed. What the? What? I just see this as a ready, set, go. We cannot let this lead swap here. That's what was going through that at VC right there. It's our time to go in here and keep this lead right here. And Hydro is going to be the only one on zone, trying to keep it out here as they get pushed out by both the Crab Tank here. And now it's one last push from Long Beach here. The zone can flip really easily, and the penalty points are clicking down here. And X7 getting that pick on the Jet here and jumping out smartly to go back on the zone here. This is, I'm gonna have to hold my breath here, Nikki, because I can't imagine what's happening, especially with all these specials being popped out, and it just manages to go all the way to Long Beach's favor.
An absolutely unreal showing from both teams, but Long Beach especially. Like, oh my goodness, that last second zone flip. I would do anything to hear their comms in that moment. I imagine there was a lot of panic yelling at each other and a lot of, oh my god, just paint, please, we gotta go right. I cannot wait. Oh my goodness. I'm also really eager to see what the KADs for that game would be. Because I imagine probably double digits for every single player involved. Both kills, assists, and deaths.
Oh, yeah,
100%. Clinic for both sides. But Long Beach, notably, if this was a tennis match, they effectively broke serve, right? Xpaghetti, they were the first. They were the first team to get a win this set, right? At the start, the score was 1-0, but Long Beach retaliating. For the first time in the set, they have the lead. The score is now 3-2 in their favor. If you're Xpaghetti, you're probably a little bit worried about that because it means that Long Beach, they're finally adapting to your strategy and showing you that, hey, we can not only keep up with you guys, but we can actually start to beat you now consistently. So Xpaghetti, they might be sweating a little bit. They're getting to make some adjustments if they want to come back and try to get this set back into their favor. But of course, plenty of set left. We're not at match point yet. It's a best of 9. Long Beach needs to score 5 to win. So Xpaghetti, they have a bit of breathing room, but I mean, they're probably sweating a little bit by now.
Yeah, definitely. Xpaghetti's got to be a little bit shooken, right? Because typically, oh, hey, we'll just take the game, and they'll take a game, and then we're going to win at the end because, that's just how the pattern works here. However, Long Beach breaking that pattern right here. Consistently just fighting in the most opportune moments, and when they needed to go, they went. They hit the go button, green light, consistently wiping out the members of Xpaghetti. Even though when they take precautions, right? You saw X7 on that range blaster jumping out that moment, hang on, I need to be alive on zone to be able to hold this in overtime here. And Long Beach just said, okay, you're going to jump out, we're going to get to you anyway, we're going to get that zone, cap it, and then just end the game right there. And Mako is one of those, as you mentioned, Nikki, is the final destination of Splatoon in this sense, in which there's no real gimmicks, it's really clean, right? AoE weapons are pretty strong here, you have flank routes, you have openings, right? And whoever plays their cards right, essentially, is going to win won the game. And in this situation, Long Beach played their cards a little bit better than Xspaghetti's and was able to take that game.
I mean, and again, like, it was an unbelievably close game, so I think it really just demonstrates, like, how good the fundamentals from both of these teams are. Like, that game, more than any, I think, shows that, like, these two teams, they truly deserve to be in Div 3 Grand Finals. They really are, like, the two showcase teams of this division. I know we're going into game 6 here, so I'm not going to dwell on this point for too long, but that last game, I can imagine a situation where if one pick had gone slightly differently, maybe Xspaghetti takes that game. But I digress. No point dwelling on the past. We're moving into game 6. Inkblot Tower Control, from one super popular map mode to another. This is like probably like one of the most popular maps for Tower Control. No major comp changes on either teams. It seems like we've seen most of like the big weapons these teams like to pull out by now. But regardless, I mean, like, both teams have pretty clean openings this time. No one's gone down yet. Missiles online. The dualies are going to be the first ones to go down, meaning Long Beach might have a bit of an opportunity to push here, especially if the range plus to go down as well. Find another one as well. This push is going to be really big in favor of Long Beach. With the pencil going down as well, that is a very delayed wipe. Finding 2 more, Long Beach is running away with these picks.
Yeah, definitely. And as you see right there, they just managed to cycle specials so well right there that they managed to just consistently keep Xspaghetti in this staggered state right now. And right now, they're just trying everything in their power to be able to do it with the Raven consistently trying to zip cast the tower there. However, unable to find any bodies right there. Hydro and Squirtle consistently cleaning up that fight with those dualies, keeping them in check consistently right here. And Raven has to be able to do something on this tower here to prevent any members here. But no, Duke is on Range Blaster of all things, showing Xspaghetti is not the only one that's able to wield a Range Blaster and be able to do some damage here, as they already have 30 points on the lead and ticking, Nikki.
Yeah, oh my god, Long Beach not letting up, finding 2 more. You said it earlier, and I completely agree. Xspaghetti is caught in a classic feed stagger loop right now, just constantly diving in, but they keep going in one by one. Long Beach is past their checkpoint. They're coming in. Oh my god, Raven on Octopus, realizing it has to happen right now, making a desperate last-second play onto the tower. They stop it in the 11th hour, but if Long Beach taking their push all the way down to 3 points, this is going to be brutally difficult for Xspaghetti to come back in. They basically need a knockout here in order to win the game, which isn't impossible, but it's going to be very difficult. And like that Crambless game, like Long Beach kind of realizing, hey, our lead is incredibly comfortable. We can afford to play this very cautiously now if we need to, which is definitely like reassuring to them, right? Like they don't need to take any more risks. Xspaghetti does though, and that's pretty intimidating.
Yeah, definitely. Xspaghetti cannot be very happy with that lead being given from Long Beach right there. Because this is like, as you said, Nikki, this is a near knockout scenario that Xspaghetti needs to do. Quite a tall order for any team to be able to do, especially with only 2 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock here. None of the checkpoints are broken right now. So Long Beach is able to play this just a little bit safer, do a little bit, mess up a couple more times here, manage to go for some crazy wild plays with this legs of diving right on top of the members in mid right now. And right now, it's getting into a little bit of that scrappy area where Xspaghetti's starting to get some momentum with 3 members consistently going down right now.
Yeah, it's looking to be a bit of a mirror image of Long Beach's first push, actually. I mean, like, they have multiple members up in bats. They have a lot of momentum. They're threading that second checkpoint. The second check is the most difficult one to take, that, like, I find at least. But, like, Long Beach, Xspaghetti's doing a pretty good job. They're threading it. They're looking to be, it's looking like they're going to get past it. Long Beach is also caught in a bit of a stagger loop here, just like Xspaghetti was. They're past the second checkpoint. They're beginning to run away with this game. Like, I know I was just saying that Long Beach, they were sitting pretty there with that massive push, but Xspaghetti's showing that, like, hey, like, we could do the same thing if we really wanted to. Although they are going to be 2 down, and an Ancient Online as well, it's going to be difficult for them to keep this push up. Octocali's Crab is going to get shut down very quickly. They're going to get picked off. Raven's desperately trying to get past this third checkpoint. They're past it. There's no more checkpoints left on this board. Like, it's going to be a desperate scramble to try to get the tower down to 3 points from this flip the lead. But unfortunately, Xspaghetti finally getting wiped out. And as one more jumps in, it was a valiant effort, but unfortunately, they're going to be just shy of flipping the lead. If you're Long Beach, you're very shaken, whatever. I can barely talk.
Yeah, definitely.
Right? Like, Long Beach, they're sweating. They realized maybe they can't just coast by quite yet, but they did manage to hold on to the lead just barely. And if only a minute left in this game, it's going to be interesting, to say the least, who takes this one in the end.
I think interesting is like the understatement of the year, considering how close these teams are, especially given how, as you said before, Nikki, just how Egg Spaghetti is able to basically mirror Long Beach's push right there, getting it all the way down to 9 points remaining here, and it just felt like they threw so many bodies, so many resources here that they're not going to be able. They need something else here to be able to do it here. They do get another pick down, however, their 2 members down here, and the Range Blaster is alive, ready and willing to threaten anyone who rides that tower here. Octocali realizing that, trying to shut down that Range Blaster here, but it's going to be Filmopolis dishing out that cooler here, getting the respawns here. Squirtle finds the jump there and is managing to trade out here. This is only 10 seconds left on the clock here, Nikki.
Egg Spaghetti, I mean, like, they're scared, right? Like, they're jumping in like maniacs, doing anything they can to try to keep their push going, realizing that they're running out of time. They have control of the tower. They're going to have one more shot at this. But if a defensive Inkjet online for the ballpoint, here it comes, it's going to be difficult for them to try to keep this push going. Egg Spaghetti's 2 down, 1's jumping to the tower, the Crab's stuck in tower, like, they're really trying their best to stay on it. They managed to hold on to it. They're really freaking out here, like, throwing everything they can, but no one's on tower. Barely saving it there, but the blast is going to flick it off. There's so much happening right now. Oh, finally get someone on tower. It was only the Range Blaster there to try to save the game, and they were stuck in a 1v1 with Duke, leaving the tower wide open for someone else from Long Beach to jump in and save the game in the 11th hour.
What was I watching?
These teams are making this set a nightmare to cast. There's so much going on all the time. Oh my god.
Okay. Let's try and break it down a little bit towards that end there. Exactly what happened, right? But before then, we got to look at some of these replays here, especially Egg Spaghetti's push here. And just, you see, as you mentioned, Nikki, this team has a habit of just consistently jumping in and just we ball, basically, right? Don't care, didn't ask, going to run that tower as far as we can here. They can't stop all of us, surely, is the mentality right here, but unfortunately it just wasn't quite enough. They just didn't have just enough momentum here to be able to break through the ninth check. What was it, the 3 points that were remaining to beat the lead of Long Beach Black right there? But no, it just seems like they just were one step ahead in the bodies game and just being able to shut down that momentum there, and that significant lead from the start certainly put the nail in the coffin and pressure on Egg Spaghetti to make that push work there, Nikki.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. I mean, it was a really valiant effort from Egg Spaghetti's point of view, right? If that push had happened, like, imagine if the game happened backwards, where Egg Spaghetti gets that push first. I feel like most teams would have been like, yeah, like 9 points. That's a fantastic push on this map mode, right? You got through all 3 checkpoints in a single push. Like, that is really difficult to do and really commendable. But it just came down to the fact that when, like, at the end of the day, Long Beach's first push was just a bit more explosive, a bit more decisive. They got it all the way down to 3 points. And hey, like, you know, I keep going back and forth singing praise to both of these teams. Like, in the case of Egg Spaghetti, I believe it was Raven who ended up kind of saving the game. They still lost, but like, they were the ones who dove tower and stopped Long Beach from getting a knockout within the first minute, right? So like, that push from Raven was the reason why Egg Spaghetti was able to make that game as close as it was. But like, that first push Long Beach had was just too good for them to keep up with, it seems like. Like, that lead was too demanding. They really tried. They came so close, but then they tripped right at the last hurdle. And then from there, there was too little time left in the game for them to really make anything happen.
Yeah, definitely. And Nikki, I got a question for you, actually, genuine question, right? So, if Final Destination is Mako Mart here, but Battlefield's Hagglefish Splat Zones, is TC Inkblot Pokemon Stadium? Is that the right analogy? Am I right?
I must admit, I retired from Smash Bros. I've been retired from Smash Bros. For some time, but I can believe that analogy.
Okay, you know what? Good that we got that out of the way here. You know, that was just a burning question on my mind here. I had to make it clear for all the Smash folks watching here. You know, Ash and Splatoon do go a little bit hand in hand here. But hey, back to the game here. We are back on Rainmaker Undertow, another classic Rainmaker map here. Maybe this is the Lilat of Smash or Splatoon.
Not only are we back in, like, within the set, right? You know, it's game, what is it? Game 7 here, right? It's also match point for Long Beach. If for both of these teams, you're sweating, right? Like, it all comes down to this. Egg Spaghetti, they need this win in order to stay alive in the set. And for Long Beach, they know it's one more push, one more win, one more just, like, final decisive victory, and we are season champions. They need to let that motivate them. But they also got to make sure that doesn't go to their heads. Because, like, you know, hubris, it's dangerous, right? You get a little cocky, you get a little comfortable, and you start making mistakes.
Yeah, definitely. Hubris, you cannot let that run away. Like, this Rainmaker is already getting this first checkpoint right here. And something I've noticed, Octo Kelly is off the dualies right now. Instead, offering to just play the regular NSAP here, realizing that, hey, the cooler enables them to be able to play with such explosive power there and enable those quick jump-ins that are necessary and keep that special momentum that they need here. But this is quite a nice lead here if you are Egg Spaghetti, especially with that range blaster being dished out there on the top platform right there, consistently firing down, giving that ship damage, shutting down any members of Long Beach here, preventing any good push from happening. But they're going to take the Inkjet user as well out, and another one goes down. This is just a bloodbath, Nikki.
For sure. I mean, Egg Spaghetti, you know, doing a good job getting that first push on the board. They're past the first checkpoint, and they have Rainmaker again, so like they're not letting up this pressure anytime soon. But like Long Beach, you know, they're doing a good job to make sure they don't get past that first checkpoint, because that's really when this map starts to snowball, especially given the recent map mode changes, where that slick after the first checkpoint was removed, which means the Rainmaker can often just start to snowball past that first checkpoint. So Long Beach is doing a really good job keeping the Rainmaker back in mid before anything gets too dangerous. But I mean, like right now, like Long Beach, similar to that museum game actually, Museum Rainmaker earlier, they're struggling to find a lot of momentum here. It seems like every time they take out the Rainmaker, sure, like the Rainmaker's resetting back to mid, but then Egg Spaghetti just takes control of it again like nothing happened. So like Long Beach, they need to like come together, maybe use some specials to like take control of mid. A big Zuka coming out, trying to find a pick on the tri-stringer there, unfortunately missing, and the Ink's going to get shut down very quickly as well. They have a cooler online. They're going to have to try to work with it, because otherwise, like, this might just be another push for Egg Spaghetti.
Yeah, definitely. This is mirroring that Museum Rainmaker game. I am noticing that pattern right here, where Egg Spaghetti just has a lot of control, and it's Long Beach just scraping and scrapping against the Egg Spaghetti members, looking to get multiple down here and trying to push it through, especially when Squirtle grabs this Rainmaker, trying to push it forward here. However, the Rainmaker being on top of that middle platform there, and just exposing them from so much crossfire that Egg Spaghetti members are going to be able to shut that down real right and quick right now, as Long Beach has to play defense once again here, Nikki.
That was actually a delayed wipe on the side of Long Beach. So Egg Spaghetti's going to have a lot of momentum here. They have control of the Rainmaker. They're going to find a pick on the Rainmaker. That is absolutely vital. That's going to slow down the Egg Spaghetti significantly in what would otherwise be a free push for them. Another trade, I mean, like, Egg Spaghetti, like, Long Beach is doing a good job to slow down the Rainmaker, but it seems like they're trading bodies for the objective, basically. Every time they take out the Rainmaker, it's like that person just goes down immediately after. So, like, sure, they're stopping the Rainmaker, but eventually the Rainmaker is just going to keep inching more and more forward, and so eventually they find 2 down, they get a few more points on the board. Hydro finding an absolutely vital pick there, slowing down the Rainmaker yet again. A defensive Inkjet coming online as well. This man is just, like, the rate at which this guy farms absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
It seems like we're finally going to clear them out of this top right elbow area. The Rainmaker is going to reset yet again. That could have been dangerous. Egg Spaghetti had a lot of momentum there. They were getting points on the board, but that pick from Hydro was absolutely vital. And if Egg Spaghetti going 2 down here, all members of Long Beach alive, this could be their chance to finally get a big push going, which is what they really need as we're approaching the final minute of the game.
Yeah, the final minute of the game here. This is the moment where most teams start to panic. Things start to get out of control here, especially when you're Long Beach here. You know, you need that this last game win here in order to win this entire set and win the entire division as a whole right here. However, it just seems like Egg Spaghetti is coming back to heck fighting even stronger than they were on TCE Inkbot here, and just maintaining so much map control, locking out Long Beach, preventing them from being able to set up here. But it's going to be Duke here on this shark right here, slowly looking for a method here. One member of Egg Spaghetti is down. Duke is behind them here. They shut down the cooler. No one's going to be able to grab the cooler, Nikki. They are running it all the way to the left-hand side. 20 seconds on here, but Calicat is going to be able to shut down the Rainmaker. It's only 15 seconds as another bomb manages to pick up another member.
Yeah, this is really not a good situation for Long Beach. They're going to have one more chance. The Rainmaker is just sitting there. They could pick it up. If they go down there, they don't get any overtime. And oh my goodness, an absolutely insane collateral from the range blaster there. They're going to take out the Rainmaker. No overtime. Long Beach is the last one to touch it, right? So Egg Spaghetti hanging on by a thread. They realize, hey, it's match point. Like, we got to win or it's over for us, right? And so they're coming together in the 11th hour. They stole another win. We're still at match point. Like, Long Beach still realizing, okay, guys, like, mental reset. Like, we're still only 1 win away. And also, it's worth noting the next game after this is Clan Blitz, which is our best mode. So, like, Long Beach, hopefully they're not too rattled by that. They're so close. But Egg Spaghetti's showing that they're not giving up. Like, they might be down, but they are most certainly not out.
Yeah, definitely. Egg Spaghetti's strength right here definitely comes, I think, with the chip damage from nearly everything that has come out on this cup. Range Blaster, the Tri-Stringer, right? The bombs coming out, as well as like the sloshes from the Tri-Slosher, right? It's just all culminating really quickly, and you notice just how quickly they're able to just get on top and just essentially chip out the Rainmaker, right? With these weapons, with their ranges, and just fighting at their ideal range right there, they're able to pick off and get these insane picks here, especially with that double from the range blaster there. Just one shot, 2 kills. You'd love to see it, Nikki.
Yeah, I mean, I can, I play Blaster sometimes. I can only imagine how absolutely meaty that direct must have felt. Like that's really the best way to put it, right? Like just the sheer impact of boom, right? Like I can only imagine how amazing that must have felt to hit, right? But I digress. Regardless, Egg Spaghetti, good stuff from them. Like, they're not letting the nerves get to them. Like, they're still in this set, even if the score says otherwise, right? And again, if you're Long Beach, like, you don't let that, like, hopefully they're not letting that loss get to them. Like, they know, guys, we're 1 win away. Like, we've come so far this season. We've faced so much, like, in the way of, like, just so much adversity, right? We're the underdog. Except Egg Spaghetti was the team who was undefeated all season, and we're this close to being crowned season champions, right? And this next game, it's Clam Blitz. That's our best mode. That's the mode where we got 80 points in a single push in the last game. This set, right? We can take them. We need to let that motivate them.
Yeah, definitely. But keep in mind, like, even though Long Beach has that momentum, they have a little bit of that confidence going in because, the last Clam Blitz game match just went super well. Like, we played that exactly properly. But keep in mind, Egg Spaghetti kind of realizing, like, hey, our playstyle really meshes with Cooler really well. And the second that Cooler went off, taken off the comp right there, they struggled with getting in and maintaining momentum there. So I assume with this Clam Blitz game here, Egg Spaghetti is going to reintroduce the Cooler, whether it's through that NZAP or through that Snipe Rider, right? Both these teams are going to be dishing out Coolers and being able to trade through. I'm curious to see how they'll interact here, but honestly, Egg Spaghetti, they might be down, but they didn't hear no bell. They're going to keep swinging and fighting, Nikki.
It is worth noting, actually, because that last game, Egg Spaghetti, they were off the pencil, but they still had the NZAP from Octocali for cooler support. But in addition, I feel like that NZAP also serves a vital purpose in giving their team a lot more paint support. Because otherwise, like, when they're not running that pencil, their team is very paint negative. Like, the dualies are probably the most paint positive thing they have. And dualies aren't exactly known for painting, right? Like, they're hyper aggro turbo feeders, basically, right? And I feel like, compared to Long Beach's typical comp, where they have the Ballpoint, the Flingza, some cookie cutter shooter, right? They have a lot of paint at their disposal. So that NZAP might be putting in more work, aside from just the Cooler, than Egg Spaghetti's realizing. So whether or not they're going to elect to keep Octocali on the NZAP, or maybe bring in another more paint-positive weapon, assuming they're not playing Pencil, of course, like, we're going to have to wait and see. But, like, Egg Spaghetti, like, it's definitely scary to have to make these kinds of adjustments within match point, because if they don't work, you don't get a second chance, right? Like, we're just done if these don't work. But, like, in that last game, they took a risk and it paid off. So maybe they're gonna ride that wave throughout games 4 and 5, and then they're just gonna have to, like, see what happens, basically.
Yeah, it seems like both these teams are going to be riding through the motion. We are getting right into this, Nikki. It's going to be Clam Blitz Scorch Gorge here, and noticing immediately the comps right here. The Dualies is back here. They're going to be a little paint negative, but it's going to be the Snipe Rider that's going to be back online here. It's probably going to be the safest, as well as the safest distance painter here. That's going to be enabling the other members of Egg Spaghetti as well right now. However, it seems like both these teams are scrapping it out already here with Octocali in this pit here. Unfortunately, falling to Duke on the range blaster already. It just seems like it's the battle of the range blasters here, Nikki. Just one person plays range blaster. Okay, I'm going to play range blaster and show who's the better range blaster at the end of the day. As a ball is already formed, Philopoulos is looking for a way to get in here, but it just seems like both these teams are playing it very safe here, Nikki.
Yeah, I mean, like, second verse, same as the first. I mean, Long Beach has an early advantage in terms of the economy here, having a staggering 19 clams compared to Egg Spaghetti's 7. Egg Spaghetti does have control of mid. That crab take up in top mid did wonders to clear out mid, clear out a lot of space for them and their team. But what Egg Spaghetti really needs here is clams. They didn't have any, and because of that, like, they were able to get cleaned up very quickly by Long Beach. They tried to make a move on the basket, but it's going to be the pencil to stop their push dead in its tracks. Egg Spaghetti is going to be tallied with a big inkjet, trying to find some picks. But unfortunately, they seem to be getting a little bit distracted by the, I don't even know what play that is. They're going to jump out, so that inkjet really didn't get a lot of value. Although it is going to get them into top mid. They're going to take control of mid again. As they go 2 down, that is absolutely vital for Long Beach. both of these clams, both of these teams are just like really scrapping it up in mid. Seems like neither team can even get close to basket, and when they do, they don't have the clams to support a push.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm so noticing something around Spaghetti. They're doing a really good job of holding that top mid right here. And Squirtle absolutely being the madman on this Flingza here, consistently just looking for these picks here, getting double after double here as Filmopolis is ready to run to that basket, opening up wide open. Wayberg gets dished out here. Hydro has this Inkjet online here to keep this push going right now. It seems like members of Long Beach are scrambling to get these clams in, but right now it doesn't seem like they're able to maintain that push that they immediately set up for, Nikki. Really unfortunate.
Yeah, it seems like there was a bit of miscommunication there. Hydro on the ballpoint threw their clams up so they could pop Inkjet. It seems like they really wanted their teammates to pick up those clams and keep the push alive for a little bit longer, but no one did. So that Inkjet, like, normally Inkjet in front of the basket's great for keeping a push going for a little bit longer, preserving the push, but because no one picked up those clams to keep the push going, that Inkjet really didn't get a lot of value. So Long Beach, they're going to be the first team with some points on the board, but only scoring one power clam, like, yeah, that's better than nothing, but it's not exactly ideal, because all you're doing now is Xspaghetti has another pity. They have more fuel, basically, for a push of their own. And in using that free pity, all they need is one clam to take the lead. So, like, if you're Xspaghetti, you're definitely not giving up over that push. Although, again, it is scary, because if you don't score, like, it's match point. You don't get any second chances. I can't say that, like, I can't emphasize that any more than I am right now, because this is the first time where Long Beach not only has a lead. That was a fantastic pick. I'm rambling at this point. I should get back to what the hell is actually going on in this game.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'll bring you right back here, Nikki, here. It's just right now, it seems like Egg Spaghetti is trying to get these clams online here with these range blasters dueling it out right here. As consistently Long Beach has been able to have Squirtle specifically move up here, getting double after double as necessary here, trading Inkjet for Inkjet here. And Hydro being on this Inkjet here, consistently just putting a lot of pressure on that ramp area, as Egg Spaghetti needs this ramp area to be able to proceed further on right now. Managing to get multiple members down here, they're going to be able to run it through. CP Squirtle is going to run through, being able to get not one, not two, three members down here. Film and Curdle are going to be able to clean up that fight here, but the lead is going to be swapped. Nikki, this is going to be a nail biter, especially given how quickly the clam economy can switch right now.
Yeah, that was an absolutely fantastic defense from Long Beach. I mean, things were looking bad, right? They were numbers down, and Xspaghetti had multiple power claims right in front of the basket, but the Flingza coming in the 11th hour, cleaning out the elbow area very nicely, although it just was barely not enough to keep them from losing the lead. So Long Beach, they're sweating a little bit, you know, we're within the last minute of the game, and they need something to happen here, although it is worth noting that one power clam is enough to flip the lead here. So, I mean, you said it, I'll say it again. I'll say it myself. Like, it's gonna be a nail-biter. This set is unbelievably close. Long Beach is 2 down, but the Blasters playing extremely aggressive regardless, not being afraid. Maybe that was the wrong play, because they're gonna go down. Both of these teams are just, like... X7 not respecting the wave breaker in the slightest, getting hit by all 3 of those waves. Both of these teams just so nervous right now. Flopsy's in a fantastic position. Like, Long Beach, this is dangerous to them. They only need one claim to soar, but if how much control Xspaghetti has over mid, they have such a long ways to go before they can get even close to the basket. And if they're only being 5 seconds left in this game, we're going to have overtime, because Long Beach has multiple power claims online, but they're only going to get about 20 seconds. And if a crab tank in top mid, Long Beach being 2 down, I don't even know if they're going to have time to make it to the make it to the basket. They're trying to rush it. They're going to go down. Hydra's stuck in Inkjet. By the time that Inkjet's done, they're probably going to be, like, the game's probably over. They're going to get picked up. Filmopolis rushing the basket. They get picked up. Long Beach is scrambling here, but unfortunately, maybe scrambling a little bit too hard. There's not enough time. That is game 8 in favor of Xspaghetti. And ladies and gentlemen, we are going to game 9, score 4-4 in Div 3 Grand Finals.
Oh my god. Nikki, I hate to be that guy, but someone pick up that phone. I called it. Game 9, we are here. It's a best of 1 effectively. Yippee! Woo! We're here, guys. Best of 1. Oh my god. Just both these teams and how they interacted here. And it just seems like Long Beach, while they did want to prove who was the better range blaster at the end, I think that was a bit of a mispick on the comp screen right there. Because you notice one of Xspaghetti's biggest problems, right, is paint control, right? Because they have 3 weapons that are relatively aggro, right? They are relatively ready to fight in the paint that's already put down here. They're not known for painting. Like, as you said before, like, Doolies is definitely, like, not something you've seen as a good painter, but it seems like it's the second best painter on that comp right there. And just being able to just go to a comp like this that is also paint negative, it kind of gave Egg Spaghetti a lot more paint control at the end of the day, because an NZAP versus Snipe Rider at the end of the day in terms of range and keeping control, I'm going to have to give it to the Snipe Rider there, and they just did a fantastic job keeping that control of mid and just enabling their other members of Egg Spaghetti to be able to move up and get those picks.
Yeah, I completely agree. One of Long Beach's biggest advantages they've had all set is their paint output compared to Egg Spaghetti's. And by switching to that Range Blaster, especially on a map mode that it's not necessarily bad for Range Blaster, but unlike on, say, Mako Mart, it's not exactly like, yes, like this map was made for Range Blaster, right? Like, they really just effectively gave up one of their biggest advantages over Egg Spaghetti. So even in their best mode, they were struggling to keep up with them. That entire set, it felt like Egg Spaghetti had control over mid, and if they have control over mid, they have control of the economy, and if they have control of the economy, they have control over the objective, basically.
Yep, it is do or die for both teams. This is the danger zone you own, and it's splat zones on Robo Ramen here. A pretty classic splat zones map, very very beloved, right? By all levels of competitive play right now, and we're seeing just how quickly just both these teams are able to interact one off of each other. And we've seen these teams play splat zones before, and I'm curious to see if they're going to be able to replicate that success on splat zones, either from Long Beach or Egg Spaghetti, because both of them are 1-1 when it comes to splat zone game wins. So it's anyone's game here, Nikki.
Something that I think's worth noting, by the way, not in like the sense of like, oh man, like these teams, like it's neck and neck, right? But something I think is kind of cute. Splat Zones on Ramen was the very first map mode played in week 1 of this season, so we've come full circle, basically, right? This is these teams' chance to prove how far they've come since the beginning of the season. The score's tied up; it's 4-4, match point and grand finals. Only one game matters, and only one team can come out as a victor here. Who wants it more, basically?
Oh, man.
That's what it's going to come down to.
I don't know. I can't give a definitive answer, because if I were either of these teams, either member on either team, I would want this like nothing else here. You know, Division 3 championship, it is a title you can hold and show off in the server after the season is done here. So there's a lot on the line, not only for both these teams here, but just who takes home the season overall.
Long Beach, seeming like they realized their problem of paint output last game, they switched off the Range Blaster and pulled out an extremely paint-positive comp with the Flingza, Zap, and 52, in addition to that pencil. Actually, this is their first time pulling out pencil all set, I believe, like finally switching off of the ballpoint for their typical backline role. But Egg Spaghetti, regardless, is going to be the first one to take control of the zone, or actually second, but I mean, like, first to take the lead, basically, right? That first flip didn't really matter. Whatever, you get it, right? Yep. Egg Spaghetti going to go 1 down. I take it back. Numbers even. Filmopolis trying to make a pick on the dualies here. Gonna get forced to fall back. Long Beach seeming to have a bit more momentum here. Taking 2 down. Duke is trying to threaten the elbow area, trying to get in there, but the Tri-Splash is doing a great job keeping them out. Seems like neither team can really find a clear cut advantage here.
Ooh, yeah, but getting that pick there in the pit there seems like it is going to allow Duke to be able to pop these whales, look for this zone right here, and right now Egg Spaghetti is slowly eking, just trying to get that zone right there. They do manage to get it. The cooler is being dished out right now, and right now they are already in this checkpoint. X7 on this Range Blaster are going to cause quite a lot of problems with members of Long Beach here, especially when in this Range Blaster is consistently going to be a thorn in their side and jumping out at just the right time as well. However, Long Beach immediately taking that zone back here, 2v1 in this Tri-Slosher, not going to give him any room to breathe here, as they have a huge numbers advantage as they're consistently fighting out and trading out here. However, they're not going to be able to move up any further when Flopsy is just going to give these jumps and the cooler here.
Yeah, this game has kind of reminded me of that first game on Haggle Zones, actually. Like, attrition warfare. As soon as someone finds a pick, someone else dies at the same time. So just this entire game, numbers even, picks trading. Neither team can find a clear-cut advantage, and Lord knows they're trying. X7's in a fantastic, really forward position here, but the pencil is going to make it difficult for them to stay there. Yeah, the pencil is going to pick them off. Octo, Cali, and Flopsy trying to hold it onto the elbow area as best as they can. That's exactly where they want to be playing. But with them being numbers down, it's going to be kind of difficult for them to hold on to that position. Long Beach is trying to bomb them out, using missiles and shumps simultaneously. That's going to put a lot of paint in zone, especially with them leading the missiles in the zone. Finding 2 as well. A big flip to Long Beach. Not out of this game quite yet. Both teams have a fairly big penalty. The Range Blaster's caught out. DP Squirtle's trying to find a pick on him, but cannot find it to save their life. And somehow got out alive.
Unbelievable.
They're unbelievably nervous.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, nerves are getting to both these teams here, and it seems like it's going to be another lead swap here for Long Beach here. It's a neck and neck competition here, Nikki. And as you said, just we're looking for those multiple picks here for both these teams to be able to move up here. And that lead definitely, while is getting closer and closer, the penalty points are going to get bigger and bigger for both these teams here. So it's going to be even more here, especially when the range blaster already misses the jump shot, but Squirtle manages to punish Chip a couple members of Spaghetti here. I am losing my sentences, losing all structure, all sense of control right now, as both these teams are just fully embracing the chaos that is Robo Ramen.
This game has just been trade after trade after trade after trade. Like, no one can find any clean picks. It's just an absolute bloodbath. But Long Beach is in a really good... They finally found that advantage, it seems like. Multiple players up in that 4th position. Duke is in right where he wants to be, up in the elbow. If he places a wall down, that'd be great for securing it, but they're actually going to opt to fall back, kind of giving up that position for free. Maybe the right thing to do, because that ink shot coming online, it would have been difficult for him to hold it, as Thermopolis just demonstrated. Long Beach is going to go 2 down, 3 down, Spaghetti goes 2 down. It's up to Hydro to hold the zone. Pencil is a really good painter. Everyone is jumping in like a madman. Like, they're scrambling to get back to the zone as fast as they can. They have coolers, so they can afford to play this pretty aggressively with no fear, basically. But I'm right there with you, Neptune. Like, I'm really beginning to lose my brain function here. It's getting so difficult to keep up with just the absolute chaos of this game and really this set in general.
Yeah, definitely. Especially with just another trade happening again. It just seems like multiple members are really dead. 3 members of X going to go down here. Flopsy's going to try and trade it back here. Throwing out a cooler way too far up. This might be our do or die situation, because that cooler being so far up, if Long Beach is able to deny it here, this might be a significant lead as 2 members of X going to go down here. Duke gets another one right here. I think that's going to be the game here, Nikki, especially when Flopsy has to dive onto the zone and try and paint it all by themselves.
Spaghetti, they got one more chance. They got 10 seconds. It's now or never. They have to move. But unfortunately, it's Long Beach.
Wait!
They have
to knock out!
Ladies and gentlemen, your Season 5 Division 3 champions. CSULB, Long Beach, Black. Holy shit.
Oh my... Oh my goodness, Nikki. Oh man, I have no words for that game right here. If we do manage to get some replays, especially if that end when I will be just eating my own words here. But you see just how explosive this push was right here. I think Flopsy throwing the cooler a little bit too far ahead, not allowing any members of X Spaghetti to get it here, was the nail in the coffin right there, as members such as Duke were able to move in there and punish the members of X Spaghetti diving from that cooler right now. And then Flopsy realizing, hey, it's now or never for me to get this zone right now. And then Long Beach Black realized, wait a minute, the pencil jumped out. The thing that has all that paint, that's enabling all their teammates and is going to allow them to cap that zone, is out of here. We can just hold zone for that last couple of seconds there, let it tick down all the way to 0, and we can just take this Division 3 Grand Final Championship. Congratulations to Long Beach Black being the champions for Season 5 in Division 3. Also got to give props and credit to Egg Spaghetti as well here, Nikki.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, like, God knows, Egg Spaghetti, they fought unbelievably hard. They did not make it easy for Long Beach. If just one thing had gone slightly different at any point in this entire set, maybe Egg Spaghetti takes it, right? Like, that set was just an absolute tour de force and playing from everyone involved. And, like, second place, like, you know, it stings coming so far and just barely missing, like, just tripping on that last hurdle, right? Especially when they were undefeated for the entire season. Like, Long Beach, again, as we said before, they were the underdogs today, right? Like, they were going up against a team that was 7-0 all season. Like the truly uncontested monsters of Division 3. And they came out on top. But Egg Spaghetti, you know, like, second place, nothing to sneeze at. And, like, God knows, like, from the way they were playing in this set, if things had just gone slightly differently, maybe they take it.
Yeah, definitely. We are going to have some stats here, Nikki, thanks to our lovely producer.
How many trades there were? I need to see these KDs. Like,
yeah, I need to see, what was that one game where just body after body being thrown at the zone there? I think it was Mako here, if our lovely producer could get that on there. Oh my goodness here. I think you're slightly wrong here, Nikki, with everyone going in the double digit there, but it certainly felt like everyone was in the double digits there, given how scrappy this game was.
Yeah, shout outs to Filmopolis. They were 19-5 with the red zap. Very impressive. Especially considering that if they were playing the gray zap, you know, that has cooler. 19 KA, it makes sense. But with the red zap, that is extremely impressive. So kudos to them. Honestly, just everyone in this game. Like, these are some extremely impressive looking stats.
Yeah, very impressive plays from both these things here. However, I want to talk a little bit about the CC game here real quick. 29-7 coming out from Duke here, just completely breaking through the barriers, showing X7 that, hey, I am the superior range blaster on the TC mode, bare minimum here. So yeah, this definitely was such an impressive showing from Duke over there. And we're going to see some other games here, and just Egg Spaghetti's dominance, especially on Rainmaker, is just shown on here as they consistently have numbers up, as most of the members of Long Beach, even though they seem like they got a lot of picks right here, they just never managed to make it into any meaningful momentum there, Nikki.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like, they got a lot of picks. They were kind of murdering the shit out of actually. If you want to I mean, like, their playmaking potential, Spaghetti, it was just like better overall. Like the few picks they got, they got a lot more value out of them. And at the end of the day, that's what matters, right? Not quantity, but quality.
Yep, and we see just how much more paint as well came out from the side of Long Beach Black there in that last game right there. Even though you're off the Gray Zap, right? You don't have Cooler anymore. You do have the chumps, you have the Turf War special being able to hit the chumps as well. And while we go into this replay real quick here, Nikki, I do have a little bit of insight for just Long Beach in general. I was told, apparently, by Filmopolis that he would be offered Chipotle if he won 2 games with Orange Zap. So he's won his Chipotle and the Division 3 finals. I think that's a pretty good deal there, Nikki.
The Division 3 grand finals, I mean, yeah, like, it's kind of okay. An all-expense paid trip to Chipotle, now we're talking.
But yeah, just one last thing we want to show you guys here before we wrap it up for tonight is just this graph here. You could definitely see how scrappy it is as we go along the timeline, right? And how these points just slowly tick down. It just kind of seems like it's a smooth line for Long Beach, consistently descending all the way down, ticking down to 100 here. Well, multiple members of Egg Spaghetti, they just kind of held zone for just a decent amount of time, but never was able to get past a significant portion there. Even though you see how many specials are being popped, how many deaths have happened there, they consistently were able to push through and consistently knock down the lead at multiple points to swap the lead multiple times there in Long Beach's favor.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like, Long Beach, it was a bit more scattershot for them, as you said, right? Like, a lot of like individual holds, but like when they got those holds, like they just got more value out of them. And like, I felt like that entire game, like, Egg Spaghetti, they got some good zone flips, but they never really moved up to the next level. And when it comes down to it, like, that's what zones is all about. You take control of the zone, and then you move up to that next level and attempt to lock out, right? And Egg Spaghetti never really did that. They would take the zone, but then they would stay in mid. I mean, and God knows they were trying to move to the next level. Like, they understand the fundamentals. It's just that Long Beach was making it really hard for them to move up to the next level. Whereas conversely, when Long Beach got the zone, like, almost immediately, every single time you'd see Duke and I'm blanking on the players' names, but like, just the front lines of Long Beach, their first priority as soon as they took the zone was, okay, let's move up to that next level. And a lot of times it didn't work out. If it did, they would have gotten that lockout right at the beginning of the game and just ran it down to 100, run it down from 100 to 0. Like, Egg Spaghetti made it difficult for them, but Long Beach, they played the fundamental idea of zones a little bit better, I think, and that was the determining factor in why they came out on top of that time.
Yeah, definitely. And Nikki, as amazing as this set is, and it sets the tone that is going to be grand finals for various other CCA divisions happening here, we do unfortunately need to wrap up here. We don't have all the time in the world to talk about how great both these teams are, even though we spent nearly an hour and a half talking about this here. These teams here showing such great skill levels here, but at the end of the day, Nikki, we have to move on here. There are going to be more grand finals matches coming up here, so make sure you stay tuned from the CCA. Look out for those pings. Look out for these matches here, because if this is just the first one, Nikki, I think we're in store for a fantastic end of the season here.
I couldn't say it any better. Like, if there was any precedent, any kick off the grand finals this season, like, this had to be it. Like, very few sets go to game 9 ever, let alone grand finals, right? Like, that is unreal.
Yeah, it's unreal here. But Nikki, where could the fine people of Twitch.tv find you here?
Yes, of course. So I don't do a lot of social media, but I do have a YouTube channel called Aniko Nikki. You can hit all the buttons that help me. You know the ones. Apparently, it helps me in the algorithm. I don't really believe it. I upload a lot of VODs. On that note, actually, I'll probably only upload one more ever because then I'm done with competing with CCA because oops, I graduated. But look forward to that. You know, it'll be a good set probably. But that's all the shilling I have to do. How about you, Neptune?
Well, firstly, congratulations on graduating. You know, that's always a long journey. You know, both these teams and you as well went on this long journey and you got something out of it here. But before I go, right, you can find me here at CCA Productions here. You can follow me at Neptune, both on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube. I don't know. Too many social medias to plug here. I'm out of juice here, Nikki. I just want to just sit back, lie down in my bed here, and just dreamed about the set here, and maybe rewatch it again once again in the VODs. So
I got to give my throat a break. Oh my goodness, I'm dying over here.
I think we'll wrap it up here, Nikki. Thank you guys so much for watching. Just stay tuned. We're definitely going to get more grand final matches streamed onto Twitch here. And thank you to our lovely producers for making all this happen here, giving you all these features here. We have the webcams, we have the stats here. Everyone that's behind this here, it's a team effort here. And you just got to give them a little bit of a shout out here. Give them a little bit of a clap here. Thank you, Vapor, so much for making this all happen here. And we'll see you guys next time.